Hello, David Paul here. I'm just in an area. I came up in this region. I came to this mall with the intention of getting some extra baggage allowance. I was going to purchase 40 kilos for my solar panels and my tools to get them back to Sorsogon, where I'm going to start doing some work with them. And I had to leave that place because the office is not there. It's nearby in Martina. And Martina is an area where I used to live. I rather like Martina. I have no idea why. And NH Bancal in particular. I'm really seeing a contrast between myself and the people here, because I've spent so long speaking Tagalog and getting better and better and better at it, not really knowing how good I was at it, because these people are not Tagalogs. And then I go off to Sorsogon and I'm speaking Tagalog to them, and it just feels kind of weird. It's like, man, it's like an Englishman going back to England when he didn't know he was an Englishman or something. It's just a weird effect. So anyway, what happened was I was in the area and I thought I'll go down and see my old house where I used to live in my old area and whatnot. And this is a region of, another failed adventure because I had a partner then and it didn't work because she was like consuming money like crazy, and she wasn't really a team player. She wasn't on the project that I was on, which was to have a wife and kids and stuff and a family, and she was just like working for herself, which is kind of, it's what we call in the northeast pissing on your chips, you know. Some people just do it automatically and they don't even know they're doing it all the time. So we have an expression, don't piss on your chips, and yet you meet these people and they do, you know. Even though a person may not want you or want to not be with you or whatever, they can do it with a certain degree of decorum or whatever, you know. They can have an exit plan that is not painful to everybody, and that, you know, brings a decent outcome for everyone. And no, they don't. They just go for the primarily grab as much dosh as they can, as quickly as they can. So anyway, this is an area where I used to walk up here. And one night I sent her back off to Agusan, and because we were so poor, I sent her home to a family in an effort to control her expenditure. And I ended up here living in a house which I'd rented, which I didn't want to rent, and I'd got involved in all this stuff, you know, and expenditure that I didn't want to be involved in, and I didn't have any money. I had to borrow some money off my sister-in-law, who's always backed me up, Luzminda. And so I borrowed some money off her, and they took me home and they fed me and so on, and calmed me down. And this is what can happen to you in the Philippines. There is no safety net in the Philippines. As well-meaning as people are, they're all at their limit. They have to manage their lives. You know, everything is tight as a guitar string over here, and you're not used to that. So if you come over here and you think that, you know, it's going to be in somewhere like the West where you've got like fallback systems, they're not there, you know. So anyway, what I did is I wandered on through to this place, and I went to a place near a Sari Sari store. And I sat outside because it's pouring with rain, and I decided I'm going to sit there until I can get a taxi. And no taxi came along, so I had a beer. And anyway, I wandered on through this area here, over there, which emerges out here, and it brings me to the place where I used to come pretty much daily, patrolling my bank account because I had broken my phone. And I never knew how much money was in the account. I simply had a dead reckon all the time. That's another thing I warn you about, you know, like make sure that you get access to your bank account in such a way that you can always get in via an app, and you know how much money you've got. Now I know what I've got. I was bloody traumatized living here. I could not enjoy conversations with people or anything. It was just, I don't know, hand to mouth kind of existence. Really tough, you know. And I couldn't just relax and just enjoy being alive and chatting to people and stuff like that. And I now realise how really fortunate I am, because although I'm living here in the Philippines, I'm not part of the system that's holding me down. I've got a few problems with immigration to Portugal, but bottom line is I'm allowed there 6 months of the year. I have a house there, and one day somehow I'll figure it out and I'll get granted residency somehow, you know. So just don't worry about these things, you know. And if the Portuguese really push me out, I'll go to Chile or somewhere like that. I'll figure out something, you know. The main thing is with regard to relationships and getting them to fit together, and getting the woman that you're with, that you can transport her to wherever you're going to go in the world and carry on your life together. So that means having some kind of a plan. Now with the new woman, Christina, what I find is that she's actually pushing in the same direction. She's not going for, like, get all the money as quick as you can or whatever. She's trying to conserve money. Tells me to get tricycles and jeepneys rather than taking a taxi. Little things which all mount up, you know. And she got the hell out of the area because she didn't like the money we were spending on the hotel and food and everything. You know, being sort of disenfranchised out of the house, you know. Living in hotels is not a good economical system. And she's done that, and then all of a sudden the living costs have gone down. So fundamentally, she's pushing in the same direction as me. And this is novel, and this is new and unexpected. So let's see how that goes. Say YouTube. Ikaw, say YouTube. Yeah, say YouTube, Ikaw. He wants to be on YouTube. The thing is, he doesn't know what YouTube. Now he's going to come along and ask me for the channel and interrupt the video. So anyway, here we are at a place in Martina and Eniche Bancal kind of area, and that's it. I'm just sort of visiting my old places that I used to be and thinking things through. It's kind of like, I guess it's like ports, you know. Apparently the reason ports are ports is that they make sense of the world and process it all via their poetry and thinking it through. So I guess I'm doing it that way via my visitations to the past, walking down memory lane and stuff. So I don't know how this is going to go, leaving Davao. I develop these affections for places. It's the yearning for a home. I think I put it down to that. It's the yearning for a home because of an unsettled childhood. We were always moving house and fixing houses up and moving again. And every time you got attached to somewhere, you'd be told you had to move. And then my ex-wife, she was like that. She kept moving us around all the time. You could never settle down. And I remember a guy, he lived all his life in one house, a neighbour of my first wife, and he had lived he'd been born in that house and lived his entire life in the same house. After his parents died, he lived there, and I felt sort of envious of him. I think that's probably a bit of an extreme situation, but I do kind of envy people who have the capability of staying in one place if you know, they're given that choice. Although I do like to move around and go to different places. I don't like to do it compulsorily. I don't like to be compelled to do it. Even when I lived on a boat, I would pull up somewhere and settle in and get used to local shops. And then after 2 weeks you got to untie and move your boat along, and then you get just as attached to the next place. Very, very weird life. Weird life. So anyway.
Hello.
Say hello sa YouTube channel ko.
Hello.
Tinan mo sa YouTube channel. Ang pangalan ng YouTube channel where's David Paul? He's not listening. It's amazing the low attention span of people, kids in particular. They take an interest in something, and then when you give them the option to take a further interest, they just log out. So anyway, with regard to my new partner, there's a thing. It's called the 1 cookie, 2 cookie experiment. So you got cupcakes. So what happens is you offer a bunch of kids cupcakes. You say you can have a cupcake, but here's the deal: if you take the cupcake, you will only get 1 cupcake. However, if you don't take the cupcake and you wait till tomorrow, I will give you 2 cupcakes. And apparently it's almost 100% predictor of success in life. I.e. the guys who defer gratification take the 2 cupcakes, and the impetuous bunch just take the 1 cupcake, and the 2 cupcake kids graduate and do well and go to college and all, have great lives and all that stuff. So in other words, they got their act together. And when I look at Christina, her behaviours, she's very much of a 2 cupcake person, and in fact something I've never even met before, like a kind of a I want all the cupcakes kind of person, you know. I'm going for the big deal, you know. I'm having a lot. And she did something quite odd. She asked me to send her 5,000 pesos, and I will manage until the 10th on that. And I look at the amount of money she asked me more, and it's kind of peanuts, you know, over the distance that she's got to manage on that money, you see. And I thought, wow, man, you're really with the project here, lady. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to inflict it on her, but I'm just going to see how she gets on. And towards the end, you know, she'll be getting poor, and I'll fling her a couple of thousand pesos towards the end of that, because she's basically made my life a lot less stressful. I mean, I got a message yesterday saying the oldest boy is sick last night. Now, you'd get a woman who would play on that, you know, and want you to send her money for doctors, medicine, hospital, this, that and the other. And I messaged her today saying, how's Mark getting on? She says, oh, he's okay. So he had a fever last night. She gave him a couple of paracetamol, wasn't feeling well, didn't go to school, gave him the paracetamol, he's okay now, and she's told me he's okay. No big crisis, you know. Whereas like a real money grabber would like play on that, you know. Anyway, that's it. This is my little video for tonight in the Martina area. So ingat kayo, be careful everybody, because I'll tell you what, if I was not me, if I was like a previous me and I was coming here now, honestly to God, you don't know your arse from your elbow. You really don't know how to navigate this culture. What I would say about navigating the Filipino culture is always be polite, because you just never know, because what happens is you misread people, and if all you've ever been handing out to folks is polite, And then you have these thoughts like, oh, this guy's like trying to screw me over or something. And then you just go, no, he's not, he's actually trying to help you out. Then, you know, it's an argument you just haven't had. You didn't have that argument. Okay, I'm going to stop it here. Jesus be with you.